Her phone buzzed. Tunned. If you're thinking about fighting them, be careful how you do it. She typed back. I'm done trying to escape. A pause. Then. That's the most dangerous thing you could say. Amara set the phone down and stared at her reflection in the dark window. She didn't recognize the woman looking back. And for the first time since the bank, she realized something clearly. She was not the wife. She was the buffer. And buffers were meant to absorb damage until they broke. Amara didn't sleep. She sat at the table until dawn, the apartment lit only by the glow of her laptop screen. Outside, the city shifted from night to morning without caring what she was losing. She had stopped crying 2 days ago. That scared her. The documents were spread out in careful rows now, not scattered like before. She wasn't looking at them as evidence anymore. She was reading them like a map. Dates lined up too neatly. Loans moved just before audits. Accounts shifted right before policy changes. This wasn't panic. It was design. Her phone buzzed. Sunhee, are you safe right now? Amara typed back. I think so. A few seconds passed. Good. Then don't come looking for me. I'll come to you. They met in a parking structure near the hospital, the kind that always smelled faintly of oil and rain. Sunhee arrived with her hood up, eyes scanning before she spoke. You've seen it, haven't you? Sunhee said. Yes. Sunhee nodded. Then you understand why there's no clean exit. Amara leaned against a concrete pillar. Her legs felt weak again, but she stayed standing. Tell me exactly who gets hurt, she said. Sunhee exhaled. If this goes public, the company collapses. That part you already know. And the workers. Hundreds, Sunhee said. Some undocumented. Some tied to housing through the company. They don't disappear overnight. They get erased slowly. Amara closed her eyes. Images rose uninvited. Faces she recognized from company events. People who had smiled at her, bowed politely. And Jihoon's family, Amara said. Sunhee hesitated. They survive. Just smaller. Amara laughed bitterly. So the only people guaranteed to fall are the ones who trusted the wrong structure. Sunhee didn't argue. Why are you telling me this? Amara asked. You could have stayed silent. Sunhee's voice dropped. Because I already made the other choice once. Amara looked at her. I buried evidence, Sunhee continued. Years ago. I told myself I was protecting people. Maybe I was. She met Amara's eyes. But it cost someone else their life. The words sat between them like a warning flare. Amara swallowed. Do you regret it? Sunhee shook her head slowly. I regret pretending it didn't make me who I am. They stood there in silence, cars passing overhead. Finally, Amara asked if I stay quiet. Sunhee finished the thought. You become the firewall. Everything routes through you. How long? Until you break. Amara nodded. That night, she went home and found Jihoon waiting. He stood near the window, hands in his pockets, posture tense. You didn't answer my messages, he said. I was busy, she replied. With what? Learning. He turned toward her. This is getting dangerous. She laughed softly. It was dangerous the moment you decided I was expendable. He flinched. I never thought of you that way. But you treated me that way, she said. Over and over. He stepped closer. We can still fix this. By moving the debt back. Yes. And if they refuse. They won't. You're lying, she said calmly. You've always known they wouldn't. His jaw tightened. If you push this, people will suffer. So will I, she replied. I already am. He reached for her arm. She stepped back. Don't, she said. His voice dropped. I'm trying to protect you. No, Amara said. You're trying to manage me. They stared at each other, both breathing hard. What do you want? He asked finally. Amara didn't answer right away. She walked past him, sat at the table, and opened her laptop. I want to understand the rules, she said. The real ones. He watched her warily. You don't want that, he said. I think I do. She pulled up a timeline. Dates. Transfers. Filings. Jihoon's face drained of color. Where did you get that? You taught me how not to ask questions, she replied. Now I'm asking better ones. He sank into a chair. If you use this, he said, you won't be able to undo it. I know. People will lose everything. I know. He looked at her, desperation creeping into his voice. Then why? Amara's hands hovered over the keyboard. Because you made silence the price of my survival, she said. And I'm done paying it. Her phone buzzed. Tunned. Did you figure something out? She typed back. Enough. A reply came immediately. Then listen to me carefully. If you strike openly, they'll crush you. If you strike quietly. She waited. They won't see it until it's too late. Amara stared at the message. Quietly. She closed the laptop. I'm not going to expose you, she said suddenly. Ji-hoon looked up, relief flooding his face. Thank you. She met his eyes. That's not mercy. His relief faltered. I'm going to let the system do what it already knows how to do, she continued. I'm just going to stop holding it together. He shook his head slowly. You don't understand what you're unleashing. I understand exactly, she said. That night, Amara made a list. Not of evidence. Of pressure points. Contracts with expiration dates. Loans dependent on rolling renewals. Guarantees that collapsed if one's signature disappeared. Her signature. She didn't sleep. By morning, she felt hollow. Calm. Dangerous. Sunhee sent one last message. If you do this, there's no redemption arc. Amara typed back. I'm not looking for one. She stood at the window as the city woke up, the sky pale and indifferent. For the first time since the bank, she wasn't thinking about escape. She was thinking about impact. And who would be standing when the dust settled? The first account froze at 9:14 a.m. Amara was already awake. She sat at the table with her laptop open, coffee untouched, watching the screen like it might blink first. She didn't click anything. She didn't submit a complaint. She didn't send evidence. She just didn't renew a guarantee. One signature missing. One quiet absence. By 9:27, her phone started vibrating. Unknown numbers. Office lines. Ji-hoon. She let it ring. At 9:41, an email came through. Urgent. Please confirm authorization. She archived it. At 10:03, the second account locked. This one mattered more. It fed 3 others. Sunhee had explained that part slowly, like she was describing a fracture line in glass. If this one goes, she'd said, they scramble. Amara closed her laptop and finally took a sip of coffee. It tasted bitter. She didn't mind. Her phone rang again. Ji-hoon's name filled the screen. She answered. What did you do? He asked. No greeting. No pretense. I stopped helping, she said. His breath came fast. You can't do this. I didn't do anything, she replied. I just didn't fix your problem. That's the same thing. No, Amara said calmly. It just feels that way when you're used to me holding it together. He swore under his breath. She heard doors slamming on his end. Voices, sharp and panicked. You need to reverse it, he said. Now. There's nothing to reverse. People are calling emergency meetings. She pictured the glass conference room. The polished table. His mother's controlled smile cracking for the first time. Good, she said. You don't understand, he said. If this rolls forward, the banks will review everything. She said nothing. They'll see patterns. Still nothing. And when they do, he continued, they'll look for someone to blame. Amara leaned back in her chair. You already decided that would be me. Silence. That wasn't, he stopped. Tried again. I was protecting you. You were using me as insulation, she said. I just stepped out of the wall. By noon, the news was everywhere. Not headlines. Not scandals. Whispers. Partners pulling out. Credit tightening. Auditors requesting clarifications that couldn't be rushed. At work, Amara's access was restored without explanation. A single email. Issue resolved. Access reinstated. She stared at it for a long moment, then closed it. Her phone buzzed. Tunned. What did you do? She typed back. Nothing illegal. A pause. Then. People are panicking. She didn't reply. In the early afternoon, Ji-hoon came home. He looked smaller. Jacket wrinkled. Tie missing. The careful order he lived by had slipped. He stopped just inside the door and stared at her like he didn't recognize her. Fix it, he said. She stayed seated. You're asking like it's a favor, she said. It's not. He ran a hand through his hair. My father collapsed in the office. The words landed. Heavy. Not fatal. But close enough to taste. Amara inhaled slowly. Is he alive? Yes. She nodded once. Doctors say stress, he continued. You did this. No, she said. Your system did this. I just stopped carrying it. His voice broke. You're destroying us. Amara finally stood. You destroyed me quietly, she said. I'm just letting it be loud. He stepped closer. Too close. Please, he said. We can still talk to them. We can move it back. We can. Move what? She asked. My name. He flinched. You never asked me if I was willing to be ruined so you could survive, she continued. You decided that for me. I thought you'd understand. I did, she said. That's why I stayed longer than I should have. His eyes filled. Do you still love me? The question caught her off guard. Not because it hurt, because it felt irrelevant. I don't know, she said honestly. And that should scare you more than no. He sank onto the couch, head in his hands. That evening, Sun-hee disappeared. No messages. No replies. By midnight, her number went straight to voicemail. Amara sat on the floor with her back against the couch, staring at the dark screen of her phone. She didn't cry. She waited. At 1:12 a.m., a news alert buzzed. Company under review amid financial irregularities. No names. No accusations. Just pressure. The next morning, Amara dressed carefully. Neutral colors. No jewelry. She tied her hair back the way she used to for interviews. She went to the bank again. This time, no guard followed her. The clerk smiled. Too wide. Too careful. Your accounts are clear, he said. Thank you for your patience. Patience. She signed nothing. When she returned home, the apartment was empty. Ji-hoon's things were gone. Not all of them. Just the important ones. Documents. Clothes. His laptop. On the table, he'd left her wedding ring. Not placed gently. Dropped. Her phone buzzed. Tunned. They're saying you orchestrated this. She typed back. I didn't touch anything. That's the problem, he replied. They don't know where to point. She stared at the message. Across the city, people were losing jobs. Offices were closing early. Calls were being ignored. Innocent people were paying for a system they never built. Amara felt it. The weight. The cost. She didn't look away. That night, Ji-hoon called one last time. She answered. They're cutting us off, he said. Everything. She listened. I don't have anyone left, he added. She closed her eyes. You still have your name, she said quietly. I never did. When the call ended, Amara stood by the window and watched the city lights flicker, one by one. She didn't feel victorious. She felt finished. And somewhere deep inside that hollow space, she knew this was the moment she crossed the line she could never uncross. Not because she broke the law, but because she let it break them. The apartment stayed quiet for days. Not the peaceful kind. The hollow kind. Amara moved through it slowly, like sound might break something fragile if she rushed. Ji-hoon's absence had weight. His side of the closet half empty. The bathroom missing his cologne. The silence after midnight stretching too long. Her phone stopped ringing. That was how she knew it was over. No more urgent numbers. No more, please call back. No more people pretending this could be fixed. One morning, an email arrived. Immigration review complete. Status restored. No apology. No explanation. She read it twice, then closed the laptop. She expected relief. A rush. Something. Nothing came. And before we go any further, pause with me for a moment. If stories like this keep you thinking long after they end, subscribe to the channel. Like the video so it reaches others who might need it. And feel free to share where you're watching from as you continue. She went outside and walked without direction. The city looked the same. Shops open. Trains running. People arguing about small things. The world had absorbed the damage and kept moving. At a crosswalk, she caught her reflection in the glass of a bus shelter. She looked thinner. Sharper. Older in a way that had nothing to do with time. She thought of Sun-hee. No messages. No trace. Amara didn't ask around. Some disappearances were designed to stay that way. That afternoon, Tun called. They're done, he said. The company's finished. She leaned against a wall and closed her eyes. And you, he added. People are scared of you. She almost laughed. I didn't do anything, she said. That's why, he replied. After the call, she sat on a bench and watched leaves skitter across the pavement. She tried to count what she'd lost. Marriage. Friends. Certainty. She tried to count what she'd gained. Freedom. Her name. Control. The numbers didn't balance. When she returned to the apartment, she packed slowly. Not everything. Just enough. She stopped in the bedroom and picked up the wedding ring from the dresser. It felt heavier than it should have. She thought of the girl who had signed papers without reading them, who had believed calm voices meant safety, who had thought love made things fair. Amara set the ring down. Not ceremoniously. Not angrily. She just let it go. On her last night there, she stood by the window again. The same spot. The same city. This time, she didn't look for guilt. She didn't look for forgiveness. She let herself remember the moment she chose not to save them. And how clear everything became after that. She understood something now that no one had taught her. Some systems only work because someone is willing to disappear inside them. She refused. In the morning, she locked the door behind her and left the keys on the counter. No note. Outside, the air felt cold and clean. Honest. As she walked away, one thought followed her, steady and unflinching. If she had to make the same choice again, knowing who would fall, knowing what it would cost her, she would still do it. Not because it was right, but because it was the first time the decision had truly been hers.